These are some of the undocumented foreign nationals which have been taken out from this textile factory, and we also understand that some of them come from Zimbabwe, but the majority comes from Malawi, Iman. And also right now the Home Affairs Department officials have been engaging them and asking them questions if that they even have any permits to be providing labor services here legally, and the answers that they had received was that no, they are not in a possession of a valid permit. So when we got here, we were also able to witness some arrests being made. We do not have the correct figures at this particular point, but
we just got news: a textile factory, 300 illegal foreigners from Malawi, from Zimbabwe, working in our country, taking our jobs, while our own people, your neighbors, your children, your brothers and sisters are starving in the streets. Let's not mince words. This isn't a one-off. This isn't an anomaly. This is a symptom of a deep, festering wound that is bleeding our nation dry. And it starts with our borders. Our borders. Our so-called sovereign lines in the sand. They are not borders, they are sieves. They are a joke. For years, we've heard the same old platitudes: border security is a priority. A priority. While buses, taxis, and foot traffic pour across, unchecked, unvetted, and ultimately, unaccountable. We have arguably one of the most beautiful, resource-rich nations on this continent, yet we can't even control who enters and exits our own damn house. Why is this happening? Is it incompetence? Or is it something far more sinister? Because when you have a porous border, you don't just get people looking for work, you get criminals, you get traffickers, you get a breakdown of law and order that undermines the very foundation of our society. And who pays the price? You do. I do. The law-abiding, tax-paying citizens of South Africa. But let's talk about why these factories are so eager to employ illegal foreign labor. It's not just compassion, is it? No, it's about the bottom line. It's about money. Our labor laws. Oh, our magnificent, progressive labor laws. Designed, ostensibly, to protect workers. But in practice, they are a stranglehold on our economy. A death knell for small businesses. And an open invitation for exploitation. Try hiring a South African. Go on. You'll face a minimum wage that, while necessary for a living, becomes unsustainable for many struggling businesses. You'll contend with stringent dismissal procedures that make it easier to go bankrupt than to fire an unproductive employee. You'll deal with a mountain of bureaucracy, contributions, and benefits that, when tallied up, make hiring a South African citizen an incredibly expensive undertaking. So what happens? Businesses, desperate to survive, desperate to make a profit in an increasingly difficult economic climate, turn to the dark side. They turn to the undocumented. To those who will work for a pittance. To those who have no legal recourse, no union protection, and no choice but to accept whatever crumbs are thrown their way. And who suffers? The South African looking for work. The South African whose skills are ignored because a factory can save millions by bypassing our own regulations. This isn't just a loophole, it's a gaping maw that is devouring our job market. Now, let's talk about the unspoken truth. These 300 individuals, and the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, more like them, they're here. They're working. They're consuming. But are they contributing? Are they paying their fair share? Let's be blunt, if you're working illegally, if your employer is paying you cash under the table, then you are almost certainly not paying tax. You are not contributing to the very fiscus that funds our public services. Our hospitals. Our schools. Our roads. Our social grants. The very services that are buckling under the strain of an ever-increasing population that isn't contributing to the pot. So, we have a double whammy, don't we? South Africans are denied jobs because employers can hire cheaper, undocumented labor. And then, the very public services that should be funded by a broad tax base are instead stretched to breaking point by a population that largely bypasses the tax system. This isn't sustainable. This is a recipe for disaster. We are cannibalizing our own resources, and for what? To prop up a system that benefits no one but the exploitative few. And then there's the narrative. The insidious, disgusting narrative that has been spoon-fed to us, perpetuated by those who seek to divide and conquer, the perception that South Africans are lazy. Oh, yes. We are lazy. We are entitled. We don't want to work. Is that why millions of our people wake up every single day, desperately searching for any scrap of employment? Is that why our youth, armed with degrees and diplomas, are forced to sit at home, their potential rotting away? Is that why our townships are filled with hungry, desperate people who would jump at the chance for a decent job, a fair wage, and a shred of dignity? This narrative isn't just offensive, it's a deliberate distraction. It's a smokescreen designed to deflect blame from the real culprits, the corrupt officials who allow our borders to be overrun, the businesses that exploit desperation, and the failed economic policies that have crippled our ability to create jobs. When you see a South African unemployed, do not dare call them lazy. Call them a victim of a system that has failed them, utterly and completely. Let's look at the numbers. Let's look at the cold, hard, undeniable facts. Recent unemployment statistics. What do they tell us? They tell us we are in a crisis. A national catastrophe. Millions of South Africans are jobless. Youth unemployment is sky high. Our economy, already battered by years of mismanagement and global headwinds, is struggling to breathe. And in the face of this absolute devastation, we are told to be silent. To be polite. To ignore the fact that our own people are being sidelined, their futures stolen, their hopes crushed, while those who have no legal right to be here are thriving in the shadows. This isn't xenophobia, this is self-preservation. This is about fighting for the future of our nation, for the future of our children. So, what do we do? Do we simply throw up our hands and surrender? Do we allow our country to be systematically dismantled from within? No. We demand action. 1. Secure our borders. Not with empty promises, but with real resources, real personnel, and real consequences for those who breach our sovereignty. 2. Review our labor laws. Not to exploit workers, but to create a fair and competitive environment where South African businesses can thrive and hire South Africans. 3. Hold businesses accountable. Clamp down on those who employ illegal labor, with fines so severe they cripple the perpetrators. 4. Demand transparency on public services. We need to know who is accessing what and who is contributing. 5. Reject the lazy South African narrative. Empower our people with skills, opportunities, and a government that actually cares about their well-being. This isn't just about a textile factory. This is about our identity. Our future. Our very existence as a sovereign nation. We, the citizens of South Africa, have a right to our own land, to our own jobs, to our own future. It's time we stood up, spoke out, and reclaimed what is rightfully ours. Don't let them divide us. Don't let them tell you your frustration is wrong. It is righteous. It is justified. And it is the fuel we need to fight for the South Africa we deserve.